Welcome to News Mongolia, where we bring you the latest stories and updates from across the nation and beyond. I'm Batsir Namshar. On the News Mongolia today, the President of Mongolia delivers a speech at the 100th anniversary of the first constitution. Program launched to strengthen judicial collaboration and transparency in Mongolia. Mongolian students studying in Britain with a government Chevening scholarship met Ambassador Enkhsukh at the embassy. For the news, stay tuned. On November 26th, the President of Mongolia, Enkhsukh, attended a special parliamentary session marking the 100th anniversary of the adoption of the country's first constitution and the declaration of the Mongolian Republic.
During the event, the President delivered a speech reflecting on Mongolia's historical journey towards independence and the significance of the 1924 Constitution. In his speech, President Enkhsukh emphasized the importance of the 1911 National Revolution and the subsequent 13 years of relentless struggle for independence, culminating in the 1921 People's Revolution and the establishment of Mongolia's First Republic. He also acknowledged the heroic efforts of the nation's forebears, whose patriotism and unity were instrumental in achieving national independence. The President also emphasized the contributions of key historical figures such as Prime Minister Namnan Surung and scholar Chevening, who played pivotal roles in drafting the first constitution. Chevening's extensive research on international legal systems, particularly those of European countries, played a vital part in the development of Mongolia's first constitution. His study of constitutions from countries like Germany and Austria-Hungary was instrumental in shaping the country's legal framework. Despite the challenges and pressures from external influences, such as the Soviet Union and Comintern representatives during the drafting process, the 1924 Constitution was ultimately a reflection of Mongolia's aspirations for self-determination and governance. The document established democratic principles and legal safeguards, marking a significant milestone in the country's journey toward modernity. Looking back on the legacy of the 1924 Constitution, President Enkhsukh acknowledged the profound impact it had on the development of the Mongolian state, laying the legal and institutional foundations that continue to guide the country today. He called on the current generation to honor the vision and sacrifices of those who fought for Mongolia's independence and to continue building a prosperous, democratic future based on the principles enshrined in the Constitution. The 100th anniversary serves as both a celebration of Mongolia's democratic progress and a reminder of the ongoing responsibility to uphold the values of independence, justice, and the rule of law that the first constitution set forth.
A new program aimed at enhancing transparency and accountability in Mongolia's judicial system was launched in Ulaanbaatar on November 27, 2024. The 24-month Judicial Engagement and Transparency Project, funded by the European Union, will work to strengthen public trust and improve collaboration among key judicial stakeholders.
Despite progress in recent years, Mongolia's judiciary continues to face challenges related to limited transparency and low public trust. The Open Society Forum's 2023 Judicial Index revealed that judicial openness scored 65.71 out of 100, while media accessibility was rated at only 42.05. These findings, along with concerns raised by the UN Special Rapporteur on Judicial Independence, highlight the urgent need for judicial reforms.
As a former journalist, I do understand that media, independent media, is especially important for the society and for any state, because media is a very clear watchdog of what is happening in the country. And we need to have media which is well-trained, also legally trained, and could understand more about what is happening with judiciary in the country as well. And now I see clearly in Mongolia, when I meet with journalists, a lot of complaints that existing media laws are not properly applied. They exist and they are not that poor, but the application is a problem. So I really hope that this project will help to bridge the gap between journalism and court system in Mongolia.
The main goal of the project is to build and strengthen relationships between the judiciary and civil society and the media. And the way we're going to do that is by having some interactive activities and trainings that involve all three of these parties, members of the judiciary, members of media, and also civil society, especially civil society that's involved in access to information and government transparency. We'll also be having a pilot services at courthouses so that people that need justice seekers, people that enter courts and don't know quite where to go, which office or which person they need to see, will have a good starting point right when they enter the door, and will be assisted with good advice on where to go and what kind of things they need to do to get the justice that they need and to start those first steps.
The project, led by the International Development Law Organization, involves key partners such as the Judicial General Council, the Supreme Court, the Judicial Academy, and non-governmental organizations like the Mongolian Bar Association and the Press Institute. Planned activities include media engagement training for judicial actors, legal reporting workshops for journalists, and strengthening the advocacy capabilities of civil society organizations. During the spring parliamentary session of 2024, we approved the policy for the development of the judiciary. Along with this, Article 12 of the law on the judiciary, which relates to the transparency and openness, was amended. This project is very timely and serves a crucial purpose. It focuses on collaboration and transparency within judicial institutions. Through the implementation of this project, public trust in the judiciary should increase. The Judicial General Council trains journalists annually. However, there is a need to develop informative journalism. With the implementation of this project, not only will public trust increase, but the sector will also have the opportunity to develop. The media and the judiciary share many similarities in their roles to promote justice, protect rights, uphold the rule of law, and build public trust in democracy. However, the media must also operate within boundaries, such as ensuring the public's right to information while protecting national security. This balance often leads to mistrust between the two sectors. In Mongolia, there is the ample room for improvement in the legal framework. International principles of an open judiciary suggest that court decisions should be publicly accessible, which builds confidence in judicial independence. At the same time, the media sector requires strengthening. I am confident this project will help achieve that balance. The main goal of this project is to ensure accurate information and transparency in the judiciary. According to the Independent Judiciary Index, public trust in the courts has been on the decline, with a noticeable difference between the general public and legal professionals. While trust among the public, who rarely interact with the courts, has decreased, trust has increased among legal experts. This highlights the need for the judiciary to better communicate its operations to the public and understand the sources from which the public receives its information. Addressing these issues requires a focus on training journalists. The initiative aims to foster a stronger collaboration between the courts, the media, and civil society, contributing to be a more transparent and accountable judiciary in Mongolia.
Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
On November 23, 2024, Ambassador Enkhsukh hosted a meeting at the Mongolian embassy with Mongolian students who are currently studying under the British government's Chevening scholarship for the 2024 to 2025 academic year. This year, the number of students benefiting from this prestigious scholarship has increased to 16. These students are enrolled at various renowned universities, including University College London, University of Edinburgh, Brighton, Sussex Medical School, Queen Mary University, University of Glasgow, University of Manchester, and Durham University. During the meeting, Ambassador Enkhsukh provided an overview of Mongolian government's policies and initiatives aimed at fostering bilateral relations and cooperation between the two countries. The gathering also featured an open discussion where students exchanged information on their academic progress and the focus of their research projects.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at international news from our partner agencies. Israel's Deputy Foreign Minister said on Tuesday that Israel would react immediately if Hezbollah violated any possible ceasefire agreement. It comes before Israel's Security Cabinet was scheduled to vote on a U.S.-brokered ceasefire deal aimed at ending more than 1 year of fighting between Israel and the Lebanese Hezbollah militant group.
Among the issues that remain is an Israeli demand to reserve the right to act if Hezbollah violates its obligations under the emerging deal. Hezbollah began attacking Israel on October 8 of 2023, a day after Hamas attack on southern Israel, setting off more than a year of fighting.
We will not go back to the 6th of October, where we know, when we have evidence and we see how Hezbollah is arming himself, how they are building tunnels in order to plan another full-blown massacre similar to the one on the 7th of October through our northern border, to arm itself with an enormous, exorbitant amount of missiles and rockets that can, harm our communities, our children. We will react immediately. And I hope that with the new mechanism that we will be able to build, the forces there will do a far better job than what UNIFIL or other international community who were in charge of making sure that Israel is capable of living safely on that border. They failed it. So we will not trust those particular again, and that's why we will build a different mechanism for that.
It escalated into an all-out war in September with massive Israeli airstrikes in Lebanon and an Israeli ground invasion of the country's south. Hezbollah has fired thousands of rockets into Israeli military bases, cities and towns, including some 250 projectiles on Sunday. In the Gaza Strip, more than 44,000 people have been killed and more than 100,000 wounded in the 13-month war between Israel and Hamas, according to Gaza's health ministry.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.